Listen to me, winning don't start when they hand you the trophy. It don't start when people clap for you or when you finally cross that finish line. Winning starts in the dark, when nobody's watching, when nobody believes, when it's just you, your thoughts, and your determination. You can't talk about winning if your mind is still stuck in losing. Everything you see in your life right now started as a thought. That's where it all begins. Before you can ever hold victory in your hands, you gotta build it in your mind. Because if you can't see it here, you'll never live it out there. The body follows where the mind leads. Some people wake up defeated before the day even starts. They say they want success, but they speak failure into existence with every word. I can't do it. I'm not ready. It's too hard. You can't plant doubt and expect to harvest greatness. The words you speak are seeds, and your life grows from them. You say you want to win, but your mindset is rehearsing loss. The world won't give you what you ask for with your mouth if your thoughts are fighting against you in silence. That's why you gotta train your mind to think victory even when your situation screams defeat. Winning starts when you stop letting fear narrate your story. Most people lose because they're scared, scared of failing, scared of judgment, scared of not being enough. But what they don't realize is that fear is just an illusion. It's a wall that disappears the moment you decide to walk through it. You can't win if you keep giving fear the microphone in your life. Stop talking about what might go wrong and start speaking about what's already written for you to conquer. Every great victory started with someone who refused to bow to fear, who refused to let doubt control their destiny. You gotta decide that no matter what happens, you're built to win. See, the real battle isn't outside, it's inside. It's not about the people against you, it's about the person within you. When that voice inside says you can't, you gotta answer it back with, watch me. When it tells you it's too late, you say, it's just the beginning. Winning is a conversation you have with yourself before you ever face the world. You gotta condition your mind to fight through the noise, to push through the pain, to silence every lie that tells you you're not enough. Because when your mind believes, your body follows, your actions align, and your life begins to shift. You ever wonder why some people with less talent win more often? It's not because they're lucky, it's because they believed harder, they refused to quit when others did. They saw themselves winning when others couldn't even imagine it. The difference between the winner and the quitter is mindset. Same struggle, same obstacles, same hours in a day, but one person says I can, and the other says I can't. One sees possibility, the other sees a wall. Your outcome will always mirror your outlook. If your vision is small, your results will be too. But if your faith is big, if your belief is unshakable, nothing can stop you. You gotta speak to yourself differently. Every morning you gotta declare it before you see it. I will win. Even when your bank account says broke, I will win. When your relationships fall apart, I will win. When the door closes, I will win. Because it's not about what's happening around you, it's about what's happening inside you. The world responds to confidence, not complaints. It moves for the person who knows who they are, not the one begging for validation. You don't wait to believe after it happens. You believe so it can happen. People don't realize that every champion had to think like one long before they ever became one. Before the medals, before the fame, before the applause. They were talking to themselves like winners. They were visualizing success when nobody believed they could make it. That's the secret. You win the battle in your mind first. You decide before you ever step on the field that you're not leaving without victory. You say you want to win, but the truth is most people don't really understand what that means. They want the trophy, but they don't want the test. They want the victory, but not the valleys that come before it. Winning sounds good when you're hyped up, when the lights are on, when the crowd is loud. But what about when nobody's watching? What about when you're the only one clapping for yourself? That's when the words "I will win" stop being a statement and become a decision. Because the road to winning isn't paved with comfort, it's paved with pain, sacrifice, and a relentless will to keep going no matter how bad it hurts. Everybody wants success until they meet the grind that comes with it. See, the pain is part of the process. The struggle, the sleepless nights, the disappointment, it's all the preparation. You can't talk about being a winner and expect it to come without wounds. Every great victory is born in moments of suffering. You gotta be willing to go through what most people won't, so you can live how most people can't. That's the separation line between the average and the elite, the willingness to endure. The pain is what sharpens you. The pain is what teaches you who you really are. When you're tired, broken, and questioning everything, that's when your true strength shows up. You don't grow in comfort, you grow in chaos. Every setback is a setup, but only if you stay in the fight long enough to see it. The truth is, the pain you're running from is the same pain that's trying to make you stronger. Stop asking why it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. That's how you earn it. You can't have the prize without the price. Every winner has scars. Every champion has a story written in sweat and sacrifice. The pain teaches you gratitude. It builds humility. It creates hunger. When you've been at the bottom, when you've felt that pressure and that loneliness, winning hits different. Because you know what it cost. You know the nights you cried, the mornings you got up anyway, the moments you wanted to quit but didn't. That's what gives meaning to victory. There's a version of you that can only be born through pain. You can't skip that. You can't fast forward it. The process doesn't care how much you want it. It cares how much you're willing to give. You say, "I will win," but are you willing to bleed for it? Are you willing to go through the storms, the losses, the heartbreak, and still keep your head high and your spirit strong? Because that's what it takes. Winning ain't about comfort, it's about commitment. Pain is not your punishment, it's your preparation. It's shaping you for the moment that's waiting on the other side. Sometimes you gotta lose everything to realize what you're really made of. Sometimes the pain strips away everything fake so you can stand in the truth of who you are. The pain is proof that you're still in the fight. It's the body's way of reminding you that growth is happening, even when it doesn't feel like it. So when it hurts, don't run. Lean into it, respect it, learn from it, let it fuel you. Every time you push through pain, you earn a piece of strength you didn't have before. Every time you don't quit, you send a message to your future that says, "I'm coming." Winners understand that. They don't fear pain, they embrace it, because they know pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. The pain will end, but the pride of winning stays. The soreness fades, but the satisfaction of knowing you didn't give up becomes part of your DNA. Most people break when things get hard because they thought pain meant they were losing. But winners know pain means they're getting closer. Pain is the toll you pay to cross into the land of greatness. You don't get to skip it, but you do get to control what it makes of you. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. You can let it silence you, or you can let it speak for you. The choice is yours every single day. You gotta stop wishing the process was easier and start wishing you were stronger. Because you are stronger, you've already survived things that would have destroyed somebody else. You've already walked through fire and came out breathing. So don't you dare fold now. When it gets heavy, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself that the pain you feel today is the proof that you're moving forward. That's not punishment, that's progress. It's supposed to hurt. That's the cost of greatness. Nobody who ever did something extraordinary got there by staying comfortable. The pain is the sign that you're stretching, that you're stepping out of average, that you're growing into the version of yourself that wins. You can't skip this part. You gotta go through it, feel it, and keep moving anyway. Because every ounce of pain you push through is building something powerful inside you, something that no one can take away. When you finally win, and you will, you'll look back and realize it wasn't the victory that changed you, it was the pain. The long nights, the sacrifices, the lonely grind, the moments of doubt, that's what built the version of you capable of winning. So the next time you feel that pain, smile a little, because that's the sound of transformation. That's the sign you're on the right track. That's life testing you to see if you're serious about what you said you wanted. You keep saying you want to win, but you gotta understand winning doesn't come from one good day. It doesn't come from one big effort, one lucky break, or one perfect opportunity. Winning comes from showing up every single day, even when nobody's cheering, even when nobody's watching, even when your body says no, but your purpose says go. Consistency is what separates dreamers from doers, talkers from achievers, and almost winners from legends. Everybody gets excited on day one. Everybody's on fire when it's new, when it feels good, when it's shiny and full of promise. But what happens when it's day 50 and you're tired and it's raining and you don't feel like it anymore? That's when the real ones keep going. That's when the ones who truly mean I will win stand tall. Because consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about saying, I'm showing up no matter what. See, life will test your consistency long before it rewards your effort. It'll ask, how bad do you really want it? And the only answer that matters is your discipline, not your words, not your emotions, not your motivation, your discipline. Motivation fades, emotions change, but discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline gets up anyway. Discipline works when it's raining, when it's cold, when it hurts, when it's lonely. Discipline says, I made a promise to myself and I'm not breaking it. That's what winners do. They don't need a crowd. They don't need a reason. They are the reason. They wake up every day and give 100% to the mission, not because they feel like it, but because they made a commitment. The problem with most people is they treat greatness like a mood. They want to win when it's easy. But real success doesn't come from moods. It comes from habits. You can't call yourself hungry and only eat when life feeds you comfort. You can't call yourself disciplined and only move when it's convenient. You gotta move when it's uncomfortable, when it's quiet, when it's boring, when it feels like no progress is happening. Because in those moments when nobody sees the grind, that's when growth is happening. You don't see the roots growing under the soil, but that doesn't mean the tree ain't coming. You keep watering, you keep planting, you keep grinding, and one day the world will see what your consistency built. Consistency will make you dangerous, because when people depend on motivation, they come and go. But when you're consistent, you're always there, getting stronger, getting sharper, getting closer. You start to separate from the crowd. You start to rise without trying to impress anybody. You start to see that you don't have to chase results. Results start chasing you. Why? Because consistency compounds. Every day you show up adds weight to your name. Every day you stay committed builds credibility in the dark. Some people ask, how do I stay consistent when it feels like nothing's working? You remind yourself why you started. You remind yourself that the vision was never about instant gratification. It was about transformation. You don't plant a seed and dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust the process. You keep watering it with effort, patience, and faith. Because the moment you quit, the growth stops. But if you stay the course, something powerful starts happening. You start building momentum. And momentum is the silent force that makes impossible things feel easy. Every great person you admire wasn't just gifted, they were consistent. They showed up when they were tired. They practiced when they didn't feel inspired. They worked when others slept. And while the world called them lucky, they knew it was consistency that made them ready for that opportunity when it came. You don't prepare for the spotlight when it shines, you prepare for it in the shadows. So when you say, I will win, understand this, winning isn't one big explosion of success. It's the daily spark of effort that never dies. It's doing the small things with the same energy as the big things. It's trusting that the boring part of the process is building something extraordinary. It's realizing that repetition isn't punishment, it's refinement. Every time you show up, you're sharpening your edge. Every time you push through, you're rewriting your limits. Consistency will test you. It'll make you question your worth, your pace, your purpose. But that's part of the process, because what's easy to start is never easy to finish. You gotta decide that you'll be the one who keeps showing up even when everything inside you says stop. That's how you win. That's how you build something unshakable. You keep stacking days, stacking effort, stacking belief until the world can't ignore the foundation you've built. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the right moment. Don't wait for someone to tell you you're ready. Be consistent, be relentless, be committed to your craft, your calling, your dream, because when consistency becomes your lifestyle, success becomes your shadow. And at the end of the road, when people ask how you made it, you'll be able to look them in the eye and say, I didn't stop. I stayed consistent. That's why I won. You keep saying, I will win. But what does that really mean? It's not just a line, not a chant. Not something you post on social media when you're feeling good. Saying, I will win, is a decision, a declaration that no matter what happens, no matter who doubts you, no matter how long it takes, you've already chosen victory. You're not waiting for a sign. You're not waiting for perfect timing. You've decided that right now, this moment is the moment you commit. See, most people treat winning like it's luck. Like it's a lottery ticket they might scratch one day and hope to see winner written across it. But that's not how champions think. Champions don't wait for things to happen, they make things happen. They don't say, I'll try, they say, I will, because I'll try leaves room for excuses, but I will leaves no room but the path forward. I will is a contract with yourself. It means no matter what comes, I'm staying in the fight. Winning is a choice you make long before you cross the finish line. It's not that you never fail, it's that you never stop choosing to rise again. Every time life knocks you down, every time things don't go your way, you look at that moment and say, I'm not done. Because winners don't let circumstances decide their story. They don't let fear write their script. They take control. They say, if I've got breath in my body, I'm still in the game. You gotta stop waiting for somebody to hand you a victory. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's gonna give you a crown for showing up halfway. You have to decide that you'll wear your scars like medals, that every setback will become a setup, that every failure will become fuel. Because when you make that decision, when you stop being emotional about the process and start being intentional about the outcome, life starts to shift. Winning isn't a moment, it's not a trophy, it's not applause, it's not when people finally believe in you. Winning is waking up every day and deciding to show up for yourself. It's that quiet voice in your head that says, I'm still going, even when nobody's watching. It's when you get tired and you whisper to yourself, not yet. It's when everything in your world says stop, but something inside says, push one more time. That's what separates the talkers from the doers. Most people quit when it gets heavy. They quit when the plan takes longer. They quit when it stops being convenient. But if you've already decided to win, quitting isn't an option, it's not even a thought. When you decide, truly decide, you lock the door on everything that doesn't align with victory. You stop entertaining doubt. You stop negotiating with fear. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start declaring, I'll make it work. There's a power that comes from deciding. Because once you decide, your actions align, your focus sharpens, your energy shifts. You stop chasing validation and start chasing vision. You stop living for approval and start living for purpose. You stop needing the world to believe in you because you believe in yourself enough for everyone else. The truth is, some days will break you down. Some seasons will feel like nothing's moving. You'll question yourself, your plan, your worth. But remember this, winners feel all that too. The difference is, they don't let those feelings stop them. They keep moving through it because winning isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's not about how many times you fell, it's about how many times you stood back up and said, I'm still in this. Every single day, life gives you two choices, surrender or stand up. Every morning when you wake up, you're casting your vote, am I going to quit or am I going to win? And when you make that decision, when you say, I will win, and you mean it with every fiber of your being, nothing can stop you. Not doubt, not delay, not pain, not failure, because you've already decided the outcome before the battle even began. Don't wait for the right moment to feel ready. You make the moment right by moving anyway. Don't wait for doors to open. Kick them open with persistence. Don't wait for opportunity. Create it through consistency. Because the person who decides to win can take the same struggle that broke someone else and build a victory out of it. So when you stand there at the end of your fight and people ask you how you made it, you won't say, I got lucky. You'll say, I decided, I refused to lose, I made up my mind that no matter how long it took, no matter how hard it got, I would win. Because that's the truth, winning doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. And the moment you decide, the universe starts rearranging itself to honor that decision. All it takes is one declaration that you stand by every single day, I will win.